Hello, good evening. Hundreds of school children in the region are helping with a pilot project which could cut levels of childhood obesity in the UK. Parts of the West Midlands have some of the highest rates in the country. In Wolverhampton, 27% of children starting infant school are overweight or obese. By the time they get to 10, that's gone up to 40.6%, 7% higher than the average for England. Recently in Coventry, one junior school pupil weighed in at an astonishing 20 stone. Bob Hocknall reports.
Wake Up and Shake Up is the rallying call to these children at Burton-upon-Trent's Victoria Community School. Pupils here do this exercise every day. The aim is to see if being this active on a regular basis helps to keep them at a healthy weight.
How does it make you feel when you do it?
Happy. Sometimes I'm tired in the morning and I wake up when I come here.
The children love it, makes them more awake, brings them into the classroom ready to learn, ready to stay focused on the task.
The school is taking part in a 3-year trial called WAVES. It's funded by the National Institute for Health Research. The University of Birmingham is monitoring youngsters in 54 schools. It wants to curb obesity levels as 1 in 4 youngsters start their education overweight.
We know that childhood obesity is related to adult obesity, and so that puts those children in the future at risk of dying prematurely, of having diabetes and heart disease and some cancers.
During the experiment, 1,400 children will be monitored. Here, pupils at Lillington Nursery and Primary in Leamington Spa are being measured and assessed.
We do height and weight, we do blood pressure, we do skin fold thickness at 5 different sites. So there's different sort of ways of measuring body fat.
It's not just about exercise. These children have also been given lessons in healthy food, and their parents were invited in for nutrition classes.
I learnt a lot. There are certain drinks on the market that are promoting health, but then when you find out they contain X amount of sugar in them, you have to stop them, because that's why it's sending your kids a little bit hyperactive.
The conclusions of the research will be published next year, and if the trial proves successful in maintaining healthy weight, these exercise classes could become part of the national curriculum. Bob Hocknall, BBC Midlands Today.
2 more people have been questioned by police in Birmingham on suspicion of possessing extreme pornography. A 36-year-old teacher from Kings Heath Boys College and a 45-year-old youth worker in the city were arrested this morning. This afternoon, they were released on bail. It follows the detention of 3 other teachers yesterday who were also later bailed, pending further police inquiries. Mozam Beg, the former Guantanamo Bay detainee from Birmingham, appeared at the Old Bailey today to face terror charges. The 45-year-old from Hall Green is one of 3 people arrested earlier this month over offences relating to the conflict in Syria. He'll stand trial in October. He denies providing terrorist training and funding terrorism overseas. West Bromwich Albion says it's received nothing formally from Nicolas Anelka after the striker claimed he'd terminated his contract. This afternoon, the French striker tweeted he couldn't accept the conditions Albion had imposed for his reintegration into the team. The 35-year-old was banned for 5 games and fined £80,000 for making a quenelle gesture after scoring against West Ham in December. The University of Warwick is leading a £1 billion search for planets outside our solar system. Scientists there are designing a space telescope called Plato, which will be sent into orbit and scan the sky looking for planets that could be home to alien life. Here's our science correspondent, David Gregory Kumar.
The search for exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars in our galaxy, is one of the most exciting areas of modern astronomy. And the next leap forward in that search will be led by the Midlands.
So we're looking for planets that orbit stars elsewhere in the Milky Way galaxy. The main thing that this mission is designed to do specifically is to look for planets in the habitable zone of the star. So that's the region where water could exist as a liquid on the surface of the planet.
There are already some space-based planet hunting telescopes out there. This is Kepler. Now, this is a NASA mission, and it works by looking at distant stars and watching for the drop in brightness as a planet, here it comes, moves in front of the star. But there are some problems with Kepler. It's currently broken, it can only look at small portions of the sky, and it can only really look at dim stars. Plato, on the other hand, although it uses the same technique, can look at much larger areas of the sky, and it can also look at much brighter stars. And what all that means for the researchers is they can learn much more about the planets, they should be able to find more of them, they should be able to learn things like the planet's mass, and they can even start to study things like the planet's atmosphere. And if you find an atmosphere that's O2, oxygen rich, well, that could be a sign of life.
If there wasn't life on the Earth, the amount of O2 in the atmosphere would very rapidly decay and there wouldn't be much of it left. It's only the life here that keeps it there. So obviously, in that sense, it's a mark of life. We can't guarantee things would work the same on other planets. So, I mean, it's risky to say that if you found O2, you've certainly found life. But beyond that, it's certainly an indication.
So it seems like a dream, it seems like Star Trek, but this is real now. And by the end of the next decade, we'll start to do that search in a very directed way. We won't just be blindly looking around the universe. We will be looking at specific objects that we know have Earth-like planets.
Now starts 10 years of hard work before launch in 2024. And then, if all goes well, we can start to search for planets like ours and even look for signs of alien life. David Gregory Kumar, BBC Midlands Today at the University of Warwick.
Well, that's all from me. We'll be back with your next update tomorrow lunchtime, just after midday. I'll leave you now with the weather from Rebecca.
Good evening. Well, it's not a bad weekend to come and not a bad night either. We won't see the fog that we had to contend with last night, but we do have plenty of clouds spilling in from the north and west. Now, we've got a breeze overnight. That is helping things a little bit. That's helping to keep that fog at bay and also lifting temperatures a little bit. So not a cold night to come. Temperatures ranging between 6 and 8 Celsius. So we start off our Saturday with plenty of cloud cover. It's a similar story than we've seen during the week, but then the sun will start to burn through that. The breeze is also going to help to move that cloud around, and it's going to be a pleasant day as well, with temperatures managing to make it up to around 15 Celsius. We may even get up to 16 Celsius. That wind will be a little more noticeable. And as the weekend continues into Sunday, we will still have some sunny spells, but plenty of cloud about. Temperatures again getting up to 15 Celsius. The national forecast is on the way next. I'll leave you with an outlook for the next few days.